Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving back into Spellcasters Chronicles, specifically my second round of thoughts after playing the beta again. I've spent more time with the game, and more importantly, my perspective on what this game actually is has evolved. If you don't know, Spellcasters Chronicles is a 3v3 action strategy game where players control spellcasters, build custom decks of spells, manage resources, roam the map, and outthink the enemy rather than just outclick them. It's fast, chaotic, and very experimental in how it blends genres. Now, a lot of people, including myself at first, approached this game with the MOBA expectations. And today, I want to address why that mindset both helps and hurts how we judge this game. So, let's break this down point by point, talk about what worked, what didn't, and whether Spellcasters Chronicles is shaping up to be something truly special, or just confusing. First, I want to make an important correction. The Steam store page does not call Spellcasters Chronicles a MOBA. It actually describes the game as an intense 3v3 action strategy experience, and that matters. When you stop thinking of this game as a MOBA, the entire perspective shifts. Suddenly, the lack of traditional team fights, focus on roaming, the heavy emphasis on resource control, and the deck building system make a lot more sense. And that said, let's be realistic. People will still call this a MOBA. They will compare it to MOBAs, and the game will not avoid those comparisons no matter how hard it tries. 3-lane-ish map, abilities on cooldowns. The MOBA label is unavoidable. So, while I think the developers are right to frame this as something different, the challenge will be educating players early, so they don't come in expecting a traditional League or Dota style experience. I want to talk about matchmaking. I played this beta at a low rank, and honestly that experience can feel incredibly random. I encountered players who get stuck on the map, went AFK mid-match, seemed completely lost, played as if they had skipped the tutorial entirely. And when you're in a 3v3 game, one bad or trolling player completely breaks the experience. So that brings me to two big hopes for the future. There needs to be a way to surrender if a player is trolling, AFK, or actively griefing the match. Right now, you're often forced to sit through chaos, which isn't fun or educational. Of course, you can Alt F4 and just quit the game, but then you're losing time. A report system is needed. I hope there will be one, but I also understand that implementing a proper report system could be expensive, complex, and hard to scale, especially for smaller teams. Still, even a basic system would go a long way in protecting the integrity of matches. One of the biggest positives from this beta is the refreshed tutorial, something I forgot to mention in my previous video. This is genuinely something I appreciate. The tutorial now does a better job of explaining what the game actually wants from you, encourages experimentation, and teaching players that roaming, drafting, and deck building are core pillars. This is crucial because Spellcasters Chronicles is not intuitive at first. The more the tutorial nudges players to try different strategies, the better the long-term health of the game will be. This alone will help reduce the number of lost players I mentioned earlier. One of the things that stood out to me is how little communication there is during matches. In theory, you have chat. In practice, almost nobody uses it. And this could be because players are new, players don't care, or simply they don't feel the need to communicate. But in a game that's supposed to be strategic, this lack of communication feels like a missing piece. Even simple ping system or better non-verbal tools could dramatically improve coordination, and right now, it often feels like 3 solo players sharing a map, not a team executing a plan. And again, let's get to the good stuff. The game itself is fun, if you play it the way it wants to be played. If you remember to roam, draft, spend time designing your deck, think strategically instead of chasing kills, Spellcasters Chronicles starts to shine. This is not a game you can autopilot, it rewards preparation and planning more than raw mechanical skill, and that's refreshing. Performance-wise, optimization is definitely improved compared to earlier builds. That said, game still struggles at times. You get frame drops, stutters, and inconsistent performance during chaotic moments. It's better, for sure, but it's not where it needs to be yet. I want to reiterate something I said in my previous video. The core game loop works. Gather resources, roam, build power, adapt your deck, and then outplay strategically. And the loop is engaging, and I stand by my earlier statement. It's strong enough to keep players coming back if everything around it supports it properly. Characters do have slightly different playstyles, but right now it often feels like whoever has the better damage dealer wins. Utility, control and creative builds exist, but raw damage still dominates outcomes more than I'd like. This is something balance patches can absolutely fix, but it's noticeable in the current beta. And now we get to what I still believe is the main issue with the game. There are no traditional team fights, no clear shared objectives that force players together, at least from my experience. And I suspect this is intentional, but it still creates a strange dynamic where teamwork feels optional rather than necessary. Instead, the game is more about strategy, resource control, leveling up efficiently, and the deck building. And to be clear, that's not bad, it's just different. If you ignore those systems, you will lose, no matter how good your aim or reflexes are. Some spells definitely feel too strong right now, like the Toxic Cloud being the standout example. And the good news is, that's an easy fix. Numbers can be adjusted, cooldowns can be tweaked. This isn't a structural problem, it's just beta balancing. Despite all my criticism, I still encourage people to try this game. Push yourself, dismiss the chaos, or better yet, embrace it. Spend time building the decks, experimenting, learning what works and what doesn't. Spellcasters Chronicles rewards curiosity and patience more than most games in this space. I genuinely expect this game to be even more fun at release, but players will have to adjust to the scale, accept the chaos, and learn deeper strategic systems. And in my opinion, the strategic elements here are more elaborate than in any MOBA, and that's both its biggest strength and its biggest challenge. If the developers can guide players into the right mindset, Spellcasters Chronicles could become something truly unique. And that's where I leave it for now. Thanks for watching, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.
I can't sustain more. I can't sustain more. Fierce winds, protect me. Level up. I'm still. 10 minutes gone. Let them tire. the last minute. Stay in the now.